So let's raise the big questions tonight. Are the Epstein files a can of worms? Can a relationship with a convicted sexual offender be seen as purely professional? Has Hardeep Puri become an embarrassment for the Modi government? Or is Rahul Gandhi guilty of a smear campaign against Union Minister Hardeep Puri? The Epstein files are focus. Joining me now on our face-off, Nasir Hussain, senior Congress Rajya Sabha MP, and Aparajita Sarangi, two-time BJP MP from the Lok Sabha. Appreciate both of you joining us. Aparajita Sarangi, to you first. That question straight direct. Hardeep Puri's email exchanges with Jeffrey Epstein, someone who was a convicted sexual offender, are they assuming the proportion of an embarrassment for the Modi government? Or do you believe this is simply a smear campaign that you can ignore?
A very good evening. You have said what I wanted to say at the end. This is all politically motivated, and Shri Hardeep Puri, we must remember, is a career diplomat turned politician. He has huge number of years in his kitty, plethora of experience in the administration side, and now, of course, he has been the minister for quite some time, and he knows how to frame policies at the national level. So he is a very mature diplomat turned politician, and when he says that there was some kind of professional talking 3 or 4 times with them, I think we should believe, we should trust him. We should not be so...
No, but why should we trust him? No, ma'am, why should we trust... No, you're saying we should trust him because, ma'am, just a minute. You're saying we should trust him because he's a career diplomat who's been involved. Okay, fair enough. But just look at some of the email exchanges. They're very direct. One of them, Mr. Puri praises Epstein's taste in people. He also refers to the exotic island where, remember, the belief is that's where many of these offenses took place. The fact is, Hardeep Singh Puri today says, I had no idea of Jeffrey Epstein's being convicted. I only knew he was controversial. That cannot be a defense. It reflects poor judgment at the very least. So I ask you again, is he an embarrassment for your government because of these email exchanges that seem to go beyond the professional and seem to talk of a very personal equation that he was attempting to build up with Epstein? And why? Why should he be building up this equation with Jeffrey Epstein in the first place?
See, it is always very easy to talk about anything because, you want to be in the newsprint. Now here, there is a very senior, very erudite, very experienced politician, the minister who has been there for quite some time, holding press conferences and saying under what circumstances he met him. So under these, I think, in this kind of situation, I think it's always very important that we look into the issues and trust him. Now, let me tell you that he was part of the International Peace Institute, a New York-based think tank, and it was a professional exchange that took place. And he himself says, not 3 but 4 times. See, if somebody who would have had some kind of hanky-panky or something, something to hide, would not come out and say, no, I have met him 3 and 4 times. I really like the way he handled the press conference, or rather he conducted the press conference from his own side. So he's definitely an asset for the government and not a liability, not an embarrassment at all. And as far as Rahul Gandhi is concerned, he did raise this issue even on the floor of the House in the Lok Sabha, and when he did so, I was very much present there. See, the point remains that Rahul Gandhi is habitual offender, if I can say so, 110 CRPC. I don't desist from saying this because, he loves to indulge in baseless criticism. He never actually, substantiates his claims, whatever he has been saying. He talked about Pegasus. you know what happened about Pegasus. He talked about the Rafale deal, and about Rafale deal, we are aware of the fact that he got reprimanded by the Supreme Court. He talked about the China border issue, that, you know, we have surrendered to China, our territories have gone, and ultimately not an inch was lost. Even Narwane has said that, the army chief. So I think Rahul Gandhi ji, being a habitual offender, would be doing this because he wants to remain relevant. And we are well aware of the fact that Congress never performed so badly in the last 140 years. When Rahul Gandhi ji has been the LOP and he has been indirectly holding the reins of the Congress, we know what's happening to the Congress. So he indulges in this kind of talks. We need to ignore all these statements.
You're saying he's indulging, ma'am, you're saying he's indulging in sensationalism to remain relevant. I want to still focus on the facts. Hardeep Singh Puri refers to Jeffrey Epstein as my friend in an October 4, 2014 email. He seeks his advice on meeting with Reid Hoffman of LinkedIn. You have to tell me, how do you explain this level of familiarity with a convicted sex offender, and what is the specific advice that Hardeep Puri should seek that couldn't come from legitimate diplomatic channels? That's the question. The question is, at the end of the day, Hardeep Singh Puri in these emails comes across as someone who is trying to woo Jeffrey Epstein and through him get to Reid Hoffman. Why should he be doing any of this? And all these years later, across many countries, all those associated with Jeffrey Epstein are finding themselves in the line of fire. Why should Hardeep Singh Puri not be able to provide more specific answers?
Mr. Puri has repeatedly said that his interactions with Epstein were professional and limited, and these took place decades ago when he was a diplomat and had nothing to do with Epstein's criminal conduct. Now, being a diplomat, being a foreign service officer, you as part of a particular organization, you get in touch with so many number of people. One does not have to do anything with the antecedents of a person concerned. And, you know, you meet at different levels, you talk about different things.
You don't call them your friend.
This doesn't mean that there is any kind of, I would say, criminality to be attached to it. I don't think this is absolutely having any kind of substance. And Rahul Gandhi ji is a past master in the art of scooting and running away. He is a hit and run master, and this is what we call him. आते हैं, कुछ बोलते हैं, चले जाते हैं. The parliament now is not in session for a couple of days. You will see, I'm telling you, in a day or two, he will just be flying to some other country. He will not be in India. So again, he will come back around 8th March, 9th March, when we start this discussion. Debate, though, he will again create a flutter with some statement, some flex. Yeah. Please continue.
Okay, I'm asking you questions more on Hardeep Puri. You're switching it to Rahul Gandhi. Let me take those answers, though, that you've given to Nasir Hussain. You've heard what Aparajita Sarangi is saying. She's saying that Rahul Gandhi is running a smear campaign, hit and run campaign, that Rahul Gandhi is trying to create a perception through innuendo that Hardeep Singh Puri had something to hide. The truth of the matter is that there is no evidence of criminal misconduct, if I may say so, on the part of Hardeep Singh Puri. It's not that he's gone on the so-called exotic island of Jeffrey Epstein. He is having conversations with him. Yes, he's calling him my friend. Yes, he's seeking his advice. But the truth of the matter is, where is the evidence of criminal misconduct? And is what Aparajita Sarangi is saying, Rahul Gandhi is engaging in a smear campaign. Your response?
Rajdeep, I think instead of answering the questions you posed to the BJP spokesperson, she was speaking and diverting the issue and she was all about like Rahul Gandhi hit and run. Rahul Gandhi is hitting them in every session, and the people actually who are running are Bharatiya Janata Party. And in this session, it was not only Bharatiya Janata Party MPs, but also the Prime Minister himself who ran away from Lok Sabha without replying to the House on the motion of thanks from the President's address. She mentioned Pegasus, Rafale, and I would also like to add Hindenburg I would like to also add Panama files. I would like to also add Chinese scuffles that is happening on the border and Chinese taking over lots of our land, etc., and so on. The moot question is, we are an opposition party. When there is an issue, when there is something in the public domain, then when there are some revelations happening across the world concerning our polity, our economy, our country, it is the duty of the opposition parties or opposition MPs to raise the issue when they are in session. So Rahul Gandhi, well within his rights, as the leader of opposition now, earlier as the MP from from the opposition party and leader of opposition party.
He can raise issues, Mr. Nasir Hussain.
Raise several issues.
He can raise issues. He has every right to raise. He has every right to raise issues, Mr. Hussain. But when you link it to US trade deal, when you link it to Narendra Modi, when you suggest there is criminal misconduct, that the Prime Minister is under a chokehold from the Americans, then you are asking people to make a leap of belief in what Rahul Gandhi is saying is the truth. I can only go by what the Epstein files show. Epstein files show Hardeep Singh Puri on a few occasions was in touch with Jeffrey Epstein. You could call it error of judgment. The BJP is saying, where is the criminal misconduct that Rahul Gandhi seems to allege?
Rajdeep, the whole problem with the Bharatiya Janata Party, they don't want to discuss any issues that are raised by the opposition. Was there a discussion on Pegasus? Was there a discussion on Rafale? Was there a discussion on Hindenburg files? Was there a discussion on Chinese aggression? Was there a discussion on Panama files? Was there any discussion? See, why is the government scared of discussion? When the opposition poses questions, raises issues, they have to be ready for discussion. The problem with the BJP spokesperson is they want to brand Rahul Gandhi as someone who does a guerrilla warfare, comes, attacks and run away. That is not the issue. He is there. He wants a discussion. Opposition wants a discussion. It is not just Rahul Gandhi. The entire opposition is asking for a discussion. So now, in the trade deal, when the entire country is on a back foot, we all know how it will impact our farmers. We all know how it will impact our economy. We all know how the US president is dictating terms. He is telling us that we can't buy cheap oil from Russia. He is telling in future he will tell you can't buy oil from Iran, from other Gulf countries, from other countries. We'll have to buy only from Venezuela. When he is putting up tweets, on his tweets we are getting to know when the parliament is in session, it is the duty of the government to inform the parliament as to what is happening with the trade deal. Instead of that, we get to know from the US president's tweet. And now, when the trade and commerce minister
bring you back to the Epstein files?
Rajdeep, just 1 second. We wanted clarification on the trade deal. Nothing has happened. We want to know why is this government bending, kneeling and succumbing to the dictates of the US president and signing such
an made that point. I want to know why. Sir, my discussion is on the Epstein files. Sir, my discussion is on the Epstein files, not on the US-India trade deal. Rahul Gandhi and your other leaders like Pawan Khera are suggesting that Hardeep Puri has something to hide, that Hardeep Puri, according to Pawan Khera, his continuance in office is untenable because of his email exchanges with Jeffrey Epstein. That's the point I want a clear answer. Why is the Congress saying that Hardeep Puri should resign?
See, I'll tell you something, Rajdeep. These revelations that are coming from different parts of the world on different issues, they are not something which the Congress party has gone and dug. We are not digging into something and bringing out. This is something which has come in the normal course or through revelation through some other sources and which is there in public domain. When they are there in public domain, it is the duty of the opposition party to raise the issue. As simple as that. And the party that is there in power is to defend themselves. That can only happen when they allow a discussion. And who is not allowing a discussion? It is the government that is not allowing the discussion.
Can I take this point?
It is as simple as that.
I've taken your point, sir. I have taken your point. Let me take that to Aparajita Sarangi. Yeah, Aparajita Sarangi, the point that is being made by the Congress MPs, you don't want a discussion. You don't want a discussion on Rafale. You didn't want a discussion on the Chinese incursions. You didn't want a discussion for the longest time on COVID. Anything that is seen to embarrass the government, you don't want a discussion. And then you say we are going to file a privilege motion. The truth is, you asked Rahul Gandhi to authenticate the charges. Rahul Gandhi is putting forward the Department of Justice report on the US Department of Justice on Epstein. In that report, Anil Ambani is seen to be virtually again influence peddling, almost seeking appointments through Epstein for Delhi's leadership. Hardeep Puri is seemingly in some kind of a relationship to, is trying to get Jeffrey Epstein to get him appointments or get Reid Hoffman through Jeffrey Epstein to come to India. Now, is Rahul Gandhi not entitled to ask questions on it in Parliament? The moment he asks questions, the BJP seems to get under your skin.
My esteemed colleague from the Congress was deviating from the topic today. He was beating around the bush because he knows he doesn't have answer to your questions. He has absolutely no evidence, no substance to actually, qualify whatever Rahul Gandhi has been saying about Epstein files, about Hardeep Puri ji. Now, as far as Hardeep Puri ji is concerned, he called a press conference and he has said very candidly that when he was a diplomat, he had certain number of exchanges, not 3, but 4 times, and he had nothing to do with Epstein's criminal conduct. Now, having heard from him,
no, it's not about criminal conduct. It's about error of judgment. 1 minute, ma'am. Emails are contradicting Hardeep Singh Puri claimed. Ma'am, just a minute. Ma'am, just a minute. Hardeep Singh Puri in that press conference claimed of meeting Epstein as part of a delegation from the IPI. However, emails show him having one-on-one meetings at Epstein's residence February 2015, January 2016, May 2017, June 2017, including requests to drop by for a chat and deliver a book. Now, this seems to me to be a relationship that is not strictly professional. And this is therefore a relationship with a convicted sexual offender that your union minister was in. How can you not, how can you just brush it aside? You're a woman, you can't casually just brush it aside.
You just said seems to me. Now, seems to me is not the answer, Rajdeep. Pegasus also, they tried to convince the entire world, they failed. And we don't have to have discussion. The Supreme Court reprimanded them. In Rafale, the same thing happened. China border issue, same thing happens. So my point is that here there is no evidence, no substantive evidence. And as far as this particular person is concerned, Epstein is concerned, Sri Hardeep Puri ji actually does not want to get into it because he says he was a diplomat. And as a diplomat, you meet hundreds and thousands of people and you don't check the antecedent of every person.
You don't do one-on-one meetings, ma'am, with convicted sexual offenders. I'm sorry. Diplomats don't do one-on-one meetings with convicted sexual offenders and call them my dear friend.
And as far as...
Okay, I want to give a final word to you.
Rahul Gandhi is concerned,
I want to give a final word here to...
sound and fury signifying nothing.
Okay, let me bring in therefore one last time Nasir Hussain. Nasir Hussain, sound and fury signifying nothing. Parliament session gets over, Rahul Gandhi will forget about it. The Congress will also move on to the next issue and the issue will be forgotten. Are you all serious about raising these issues in and outside Parliament, or is it spit and run politics? Final answer. Do you want Hardeep Puri to step aside? Can India investigate Epstein files? That's already being done in the United States.
Rajdeep, again I'll stick on to my stand. Our BJP spokesperson was again and again mentioning Rahul Gandhi, calling him names, saying that he doesn't have a right to raise issues. If somebody is well versed with parliamentary democracy, it is very clear the leaders of the opposition, MPs from the opposition, it is their right to raise issues in the parliament, and those issues are not something which they have created or dug up from somewhere. These are the issues which have been revealed by someone, or these are the issues that have been there in public domain. And she was mentioning about courts. That means the BJP spokesperson and the BJP thinks that Parliament is not the right place to discuss issues concerning the security of the nation, and the courts will have to deal with it. And in none of the cases she mentioned, Congress had gone to court. Somebody must have gone to the court. Congress wants to debate and discuss these important issues in the Parliament.
Seconds.
We will continue to do so. Rahul Gandhi ji will continue to do so.
Okay.
And Rahul Gandhi ji will continue to raise the issues in the
I want to speak for
Parliament.
30 seconds.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, yes. Take your 30 seconds, Aparajita.
Yes,
Quickly.
can I
30
come in?
seconds.
Yes. See, there was
Yeah,
budget
please.
session and number of hours had been earmarked to talk about the budget. He talked about everything except the budget. This is one part. He did not even know what were the components of the budget, what were the contours of the budget. We had 18 hours earmarked for motion of thanks on presidential address. He chose to talk about something else, Indo-China, and
Can
a
I come in,
particular
Rajdeep, for 10
unpublished book.
seconds?
Now here, in the statements of Rahul Gandhi,
both.
there is no consistency, no conviction, and as far as this particular
10
issue
seconds for me.
is concerned, no evidence and no
Ma'am, you
substance.
made that.
So I
Ma'am,
think
you
we
made
need
that
to
point
discuss this.
earlier. You made that point earlier. Last
10
10.
minutes, 10
Let me
seconds.
give the same
10
30 seconds now to Nasir Hussain.
I
Only
want
30
to say
seconds.
emphatically that we really
Yes.
need to stop this. This
Ra-
should be-
Ra-
No, ma'am, you made your point.
Rajdeep-
Let him have his
Rajdeep,
30
the
seconds.
point
Your
is
30
very
seconds
clear.
are up.
Rajdeep, the point is very clear. During the discussion on the president's speech, anybody can raise any issue that has been raised by the president. There we tried raising issues, and the party that is there in power ran away from discussion, including the prime minister didn't answer to any of the questions that were raised there. Point number one. Point number two. The India-US
your 10
trade
seconds- your
deal is
10
something to
seconds
do
are
with
up.
the economy. Budget is something to do with the economy. The budget, just 1 second. Budget is something to do with the economy. And when there is a hidden agenda and the government of the day surrenders, kneels and succumbs to a foreign power and signs some deal which is not in the interest of our economy, then we will have to raise it. Thank you so much.
Okay. Nasir Hussain, Aparajita Sarangi for joining me on the debate. I appreciate you joining me. Thanks very much.